Imagine this for a moment. You go to bed tonight and the next time you open your eyes, sunlight is already coming through the window. 7, maybe 8 hours of deep, uninterrupted, restorative sleep. No stumbling through the dark to the bathroom. No lying awake afterward, staring at the ceiling, trying to force your body back to sleep. If you're over 60, chances are you've been told this isn't realistic. You've probably heard that waking up multiple times a night to urinate, a condition commonly called nocturia, is just a normal part of aging. Or maybe you've been told you simply have a small bladder. I want to start this video by destroying that belief right now. In the vast majority of cases, the size of your bladder is not the problem. The problem is the pressure being placed on it. We live in a culture that loves quick fixes. You go to the doctor, you get a prescription, and you hope a pill can undo 20 or 30 years of daily habits. But today, we need to have an honest conversation. We need to stop blindly medicating symptoms that are actually caused by how we live. This requires responsibility. We have to be willing to say, yes, I sit too much. Yes, I spend hours watching television. Yes, my hips are tight because I stopped moving them. When you sit for long periods of time, the muscles of your pelvis become rigid. They lose their elasticity. They essentially lock up. And a rigid pelvis acts like a tight corset, squeezing the bladder from all sides and sending false urgency signals to your brain even when the bladder is barely full. That isn't a disease. That's a mechanical problem. And here's the good news. Because it's mechanical, it has a mechanical solution. You don't need surgery. You may not even need medication. What you need is to release the tension that's crushing your system. Today is the day you stop accepting poor sleep as your destiny. Today is the day we reset your body. We're going to walk through a safe, gentle, 10-minute routine designed specifically to relax the pelvic floor, calm the nervous system, and stop those nighttime urges at the source. Let's begin. Exercise number 5, decompression, knee to chest release. We start with the most critical area for adults over 60, the lower back and the psoas muscle. This movement tells your body that it's safe. Lie flat on your back. If you need a pillow under your head, that's perfectly fine. Comfort matters here. Now gently draw your right knee toward your chest and hold it with your hands. If your knee is sensitive, hold behind the thigh instead. As you stay here, let me explain why this matters for your bladder. You are stretching the psoas muscle on the opposite side, the leg that remains extended on the floor. The psoas is a deep core muscle connecting the spine to the legs, but it also shares connective tissue with the kidneys and the bladder. When you spend hours sitting, driving, watching the news, reading, the psoas shortens and tightens. And a tight psoas physically intrudes into the space your bladder needs. It reduces capacity and triggers early urgency. By lengthening this muscle, you're giving your bladder room to fill fully before sounding the alarm. Focus on your breathing. Inhale slowly through your nose. Exhale long and controlled through your mouth. That slow exhale stimulates the vagus nerve, the master regulator of your nervous system. When the nervous system is overstimulated, the bladder becomes reactive. Engaging the vagus nerve tells the bladder muscle, the detrusor, to relax and store rather than contract. Now switch sides. Lower the right leg and draw the left knee in. Notice your shoulders. If they're creeping toward your ears, let them drop. Relax your jaw. There's a direct neurological link between jaw tension and pelvic floor tension. If you clench one, you usually clench the other. Let it go. Feel your lower back gently settling into the surface beneath you. This decompression frees the spinal nerves that control bladder signaling. You're telling your body the day is done. The stress has passed. It's safe to rest. Exercise number 4, adductor release, reclined butterfly. Bring both feet flat onto your mat, knees bent. Gently let your knees fall open to the sides, bringing the soles of your feet together. If your hips feel tight, place a pillow under each knee for support. This isn't a flexibility contest. The goal here is release, not stretch. We're targeting the adductors, the inner thighs. In adults over 60, these muscles are often chronically tight, working overtime to maintain balance and stability. But here's the secret. The adductors attach directly to the pubic bone. When they are tight, they pull constantly on the pelvic floor, creating a background tension that the brain interprets as bladder urgency. Place your hands on your lower belly and visualize the pelvic bowl as a basin of muscles. Inhale, sending breath down to expand the pelvis like a balloon. Exhale, and imagine the tension melting into the mat. This posture improves blood flow to the prostate in men and reproductive organs in women. Fresh circulation helps flush out inflammation, a key contributor to noxuria. By reducing inflammation before bed, you're reducing the frequency of those wake-up calls. Stay here a moment. Focus on transitioning from the sympathetic nervous system, fight or flight, to the parasympathetic nervous system, rest and digest. Sleep cannot be forced. It can only be invited. This posture is your invitation. Exercise number 3. Nerve gliding, lazy figure 4. Gently bring your knees together. Place your left foot on the bed and cross your right ankle over the left knee. Instead of pulling the leg toward you, press the right knee gently away using your right hand. You should feel this in the outer hip and buttock, targeting the piriformis muscle. Why does this matter for noxuria? A tight piriformis can compress the sciatic and pudendal nerves. The pudendal nerve carries signals to the bladder and pelvic floor. When irritated, it sends false urgency messages to the brain. You wake up thinking the bladder is full, rush to the bathroom, and hardly anything comes out. This is urgency frequency, not volume. For more relief, add a tiny side-to-side rocking motion, just an inch. This mimics the sensation of being rocked as an infant, biologically lowering cortisol and calming the central nervous system. Switch sides. Right foot down, left ankle crosses over. Press gently, breathe into the outer hip. A few minutes here restores hip rotation, easing pressure on the bladder. Exercise number 2. Mobility, pelvic tilt into gentle bridge. Return both feet flat to the mat. Begin with a pelvic tilt. Imagine a marble on your belly button. Tilt your pelvis back, rolling the marble toward your chest and flattening your lower back. Tilt forward, arching the back slightly. Repeat a few times. This flosses the spine. Now, on the backward tilt, press through your heels to gently lift the hips into a small bridge. Just a few inches. High bridges aren't necessary. Squeeze the glutes lightly, hold for 3 seconds and lower slowly, one vertebra at a time. Why this matters? Weak glutes are epidemic in adults over 60. When glutes are weak, the pelvic floor compensates, becoming tight and exhausted. Activating the glutes allows the pelvic floor to relax. Additionally, this gentle pumping moves stagnant lymphatic fluid from the pelvic bowl, enhancing circulation and drainage before sleep. Exercise number 1. The medical hack, fluid drain. This is the most important movement for stopping nighttime urination. Pay attention, because if you take nothing else from this routine, take this. During the day, gravity pulls fluid down into your legs and ankles. You might not even see it, but this is edema, fluid buildup in the lower extremities. When you lie down to sleep, gravity no longer holds it down. That fluid rushes back into your bloodstream. Your kidneys filter it, and about 90 minutes after you fall asleep, your bladder is full. We're going to beat biology with physics. Elevate your legs. You can place them against a wall, rest them on a stack of pillows, or simply hold them in the air. The key is that your feet are higher than your heart. Now pump your ankles. Point your toes toward the ceiling, then flex them strongly toward your face. Pump and flex vigorously, pump and flex. You are manually activating your calf muscle pump. Your calves act as a second heart, returning venous blood and fluid to the core to be processed by your kidneys while you're still awake. You may need to use the bathroom one last time before bed. That's exactly the point. You're pre-processing the fluid so you won't wake up at 3 o'clock a.m. Do this for at least 60 seconds each night, roughly an hour before sleep. It's simple, yet the impact on your sleep cycle is profound. Slowly lower your legs. Lie still and feel the difference. Your hips should feel looser, your back flatter, your mind calmer. We've addressed the muscles, the nerves, and the fluid dynamics. But remember, this is a practice, not a magic trick. These tissues didn't get tight overnight, and they won't release fully in one session. Commit to this routine for 7 consecutive nights. Couple it with smart hydration. Avoid heavy fluids 2 hours before bed, but hydrate well in the morning and afternoon. Dehydration can irritate the bladder just as much as excess nighttime fluids. Now, you have the tools. You understand your body better, right? It's up to you to act, sleep well, breathe deeply, and take care of yourself. Subscribe to the channel so we can continue working on your health together.